Good morning, everybody. It's May the 4th, 2019, and I would love to show you my first finish, my first start and finish of 2019 Stitch Mania. There it is, Lovebird by Just Another Button Company. I started it on May the 1st, Wednesday, and I finished it last night. And I love it. I really love it. In the previous vlog, I showed you all the DMC laid out that I was going to stitch it with. And I told you that my plans were to use this Krinnik 001 number 4 braid for the needle. And I decided to use it for the pins as well. At first I used DMC 415 gray, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I ripped it out and put the Krinnik in. And I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. And I'm a little surprised that I finished it, because the other one I feel like took me a little bit longer, but maybe this one was a little bit smaller with not as many color changes. Although it's just gorgeous with the DMC. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And after studying the pattern, I think that this one here is demonstrating the Specialty Floss, and this one up here is using the DMC, because my pins that say love there, they're kind of a goldy color, and over there they're red. So I just followed the chart and I did that. And again, that's on 30 count straw linen, and I believe it's by weeks. I'm not 100% sure. But if you'd like to see all the DMC laid out, you can go back and look at the May 1st video. And I love it. And I'm going to frame it in a square frame. No rush whenever I find the frame. It took me a while to find the other one. It took me a really long time to get the other one in the series framed up. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put the video on hold. And since it's Saturday, I'm starting a larger project, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to start today. I'm really excited to start it. So just give me a second and I'll be back in a minute. Look what I'm starting today. It's one of my bigger projects, I guess you could say, in my Maynia plans. And I can't tell you how many times I've filmed this. I go to film this and then my daughter needs something in the basement. Oh my gosh, I've run up those stairs from the basement so many times. I definitely deserve to sit down and stitch all day. We'll see if that happens. Weekends are pretty busy around here. So I'm going to start Welcome Spring by Brenda Gervais today. And I loved this chart so much. This particular chart is from Expressions in Needle Art that I bought on Alice and I's trip to the Flosstube, New Jersey retreat. We stopped at lots of places, and I bought this chart and totally forgot that I bought it. And when I got to Needleworker's Delight, while we were, doing the retreat, I loved it again just as much, and I scooped it up without even thinking. So I bought it twice. So I gave the other copy to my mom as a little gift. But yeah, so I'm just super excited to start this. I've had it kitted up for a while, and let's show you what I'm going to do it with. So I'm going to do it with all of the called for floss. The sheep actually, which I'm really thankful, it calls for DMC floss. So there it is right there, 3782. So I don't have to worry about how many skeins of floss I need for that. So, because I can go to Michael's and just buy another color. So it calls for Weeks, Classic Colorworks, some Gentle Arts, and it calls for some Valdani Floss. And the linen that I'm going to do it on is 32 count Belfast, and I don't know the color. I'm really sorry. When I had it cut, the ladies at the shop didn't write down what colorway it was. So I'm a little disappointed about that, but it's a really, really close match to what is called for. And what's called for is 40 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works. But I really like Weeks Dye Works fabric, but unfortunately my needlework shop doesn't sell Weeks, so I just chose something that was really similar. And you can see there I've got my baggies all set out. There's 12 Specialty Floss. And I'm going to put the Gentle Arts, the Classic Colorworks, and the Weeks Dye Works in a baggie. That's kind of how I organize my floss. And the Valdani floss, I'm going to put on a DMC card. And you can see the one closest to the terracotta twist, closest to the pattern, is Valdani floss that's actually called for. The other one there, H201, called Rust, is a color that I'm substituting for two different symbols in the chart because my needlework shop didn't have the exact Valdani. Some shops don't carry them all. They just have, they have a pretty good selection, and that is going to be the one that I'm substituting for, the Rust H201, is going to be in the bees' wings and in the bees' wings and in the flowers. And it's a closer match than what's showing on the iPad. I'm going to use an 8-inch Q-snap. And I've got my scissors, and I forgot to show you my little Ort jar. It's collapsible and it's made out of wool. And I just throw that in my bag, and I've emptied it because I filled it up with my other projects. Orts, and I've got my counting pin, my highlighter. I had to throw the other one out, so I'm using blue this time, pencil, 26 Bowen needles. I like 28 Bowen needles a lot, but for this particular project, because it's linen and the weave, it feels a little bit of a softer linen, so I'm gonna start with 26 and see how that goes. So yeah, I'm super excited to start this today. Tomorrow I'll be taking this to the Hamilton Stitching Retreat. And for this project, I'm going to start in the middle, which is right on the cart beside the most left egg. Yeah. So that seafoam color is just gorgeous. You can see it in there. And I can't wait to start stitching with that. So I'll probably stitch it horizontally, just like in the photo. Sometimes I like to do swirls, and sometimes I like to go vertically, and it just depends on what I'm stitching. For example, leaves, depending on how they're twisted, sometimes I'll stitch one vertical or horizontal. So that's my project, and I'm totally ready to start it. We'll see if that actually happens, because everybody's been calling me and needing me, and there are some things I have to do today, but yeah, we'll see how. I don't think I'll finish this by the time you see another vlog. I'm shaking the iPad a little bit too much today because I've done the stairs a million times. I'm a little out of breath from that too. So the next time you will see me is on Wednesday morning, which is May the 8th. You'll see me May the 8th. And if you don't see me, it means I've had the baby, so I won't be filming a video from the hospital, although I might bring my stitching. I've had some good laughs about some comments left. Okay, everybody, have a great May the 4th. And if you are doing Stitch Mania, Love seeing all your posts on Instagram. If you're vlogging about it, I love seeing those too. And I just hope everybody, and if you're not doing Stitch Mania, I just hope you have a really good weekend. And I hope that today includes some stitching time for you on whatever you're stitching on or finishing. It's always good to have a finishing day. So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic weekend. Bye. See you next week.